Benito Mussolini, the founder of the National Fascist Party and a manipulative leader, recognized the influential power of cinema. He utilized film to spread his ideology, notably stating, "Cinema is the strongest weapon." The creation of Istituto Luce by Mussolini marked a turning point during 1924 to 1945 as it was used to change the Italian cinema industry to fit the agenda of fascist beliefs, characterized by authoritarianism, where power is held by a single leader or elite, nationalism prioritizing the nation state above all, and militarism advocating for a strong military to expand national interests. These elements together formed the core of fascist ideology. Mussolini's government achieved this through his Italian propaganda films, media censorship, and manipulation.
Ladies and gentlemen.
But how did Mussolini even come to power? After World War I, Europe faced immense challenges. The war had left many countries in ruins with devastated economies and political unrest. In particular, Italy was grappling with the aftermath of the war, struggling with a weak economy, high inflation, and social tensions. In 1921, he founded the National Fascist Party. Mussolini adopted the collectivist philosophy of corporatism to differentiate himself from his enemies, the International Socialists, and call it fascism. Fascism, as well with its promise of strong leadership, national unity, and order, appealed to many Italians about this promising political establishment. Mussolini was a compelling figure known for his powerful speeches, his persuasive language, and articulate words. Was particularly effective when addressing large crowds. Moreover, his image as a strong Italian man captivated the hearts of his followers.
It was during this time Mussolini found this as a political opportunity and used this to his advantage. Like the March on Rome, where he and his supporters marched up to the government to threaten for a position. The March on Rome ended successfully for the fascists.
Slowly, he took control of the government, either through legal or by force, backed by his loyal supporters. These supporters often resorted to intimidation tactics such as assault, abduction, or even murder. This led to the elimination of the voting system, as he was confident in his universal popularity and saw no potential challenges for the dictatorship of Italy.
At a certain point, Mussolini deleted the vote, and he became a dictator. In mid-30s, he said, "Well, you all love me, so you don't have to vote for me, because I'm sure you want me as leader of this country, so there is no need to vote anymore."
The economic struggles, social unrest, and political disillusionment of post-war Italy created the perfect situation for Mussolini's rise to power. The combination of these factors, along with Mussolini's charismatic leadership and the appeal of Fassa, propelled him into a position of authority. In Italy, the literacy rate exceeded 35%, and very few people read newspapers. Cinema became an effective way of spreading information, so Fassa used this to their advantage and gained supporters. Mussolini recognized the power of filmmaking and established Istituto Luce. Istituto Luce made different types of movies. They made films like Vecchia Gradia, white telephone movies, dramas, comedies, and historical films. These white telephone movies were about rich girls chatting with their friends and boyfriends.
Now let's delve deeper into the intriguing world of white telephone movies with our esteemed guest, Professor Like. With her extensive knowledge and research in film studies, she will provide us with a more cohesive understanding of this unique genre.
Are what are called white telephone films. Do you know this term?
No.
These are films in which usually fairly wealthy single women lie on their fancy satin-covered beds and talk to either to their lovers or their girlfriends on white telephones. So it's about a really kind of high bourgeois, very carefree, life of romance and adventure. And the white telephone is sort of the symbol of these very frivolous women.
The establishment of the Istituto Luce showcased Mussolini's recognition of the power of media.
During the war, the film industry had a drastic change.
He started to create movies such as Rome, Open City, and director Robert Rossellini helped make a lot of movies during this time period about fascism. By creating a state-owned private film production company, Mussolini sought to elevate Italian cinema for his own benefit.
So with this recognition of power, Mussolini tightly controlled the media that reached the Italian population. Films produced by Istituto Luce serve as a means to censor certain medias and enforce fascist ideals.
Films were carefully made so that Istituto Luce showcased Mussolini's glory, highlighting his achievements and projecting an image of national strength. For example, one notable film that glorified Italy and showcased Mussolini's supposed glory was The White Squadron. This film, released in 1936, depicted the heroic actions of Italian aviators during World War I, emphasizing their loyalty to Mussolini and the fascist regime. It presented a highly idealized version of Italy history.
In addition, censorship played a crucial role in Mussolini's enforcement of fascist propaganda. The regime heavily censored films, ensured that they were aligned with Mussolini's vision of strong, unified Italy.
Any content that challenged or criticized the fascist regime was suppressed or altered. For instance, the film Scipio Africanus, The Defeat of Hannibals. This historic film faced censorship due to its portrayal of the Roman general Scipio Africanus. The film depicted Scipio's military victories against the Carthaginian leader Hannibal during the Second Punic War. However, the fascist government was concerned that the films were focused on Scipio's individual heroism could potentially overshadow Mussolini's own leadership. This shows how censorship was used to shape historical narratives and maintain the regime control over the public's perception.
So under Mussolini's rule, the Istituto Luce control over the film industry marked a turning point in Italia's media manipulation. This strategic use of film propaganda had a profound impact within Italy.
In the short term, Mussolini's propaganda films significantly influenced Italy as they portrayed him as a hero, thereby garnering admiration from the Italian population.
Films, he successfully instillated a sense of unity and national pride among the Italian population, rallying support for his regime.
However, in the long-term effects, Istituto Luce paved the way for a genre called neorealism. Istituto Luce had a significant impact on the development of neorealism in Italian cinema. As Italy entered post-World War II period, the influence of Istituto Luce began to diminish, creating an opportunity for new generations of filmmakers to emerge. These filmmakers, inspired by neorealism, aimed to depict the realities of struggles of ordinary people in post-war Italy. By creating non-professional actors, real locations, and natural lighting, they sought to create authentic and realistic portrayals. This created an opportunity for a new wave of filmmakers to emerge and tell stories that reflect the harsh realities of post-war Italy. Neorealism was a cinematic movement characterized by its focus on everyday life, social issues, and experience of ordinary people. The decline of Istituto Luce allowed these filmmakers to break free from the constraints of state-controlled propaganda and explore more truthful, humanistic storytelling. Neorealism became a powerful tool for reflecting the social and economic conditions of the time, shedding light on the struggles of working class, poverty, and the aftermath of war. In conclusion, the establishment of Istituto Luce by Benito Mussolini is a pivotal moment in Italy. It served as a propaganda tool aligning the Italian cinema industry with fascist ideology. Despite its initial role in fostering national pride, the Institute's long-term impact was seen in the rise of neorealism in Italian cinema post-Mussolini. This movement deviated from the state-controlled propaganda, allowing filmmakers to authentically depict post-war Italy realities, thus providing a more accurate societal representation.
This turning point underscores the transformative power of cinema in shaping and reflecting societal narratives.